You may have seen a small glass bottle in the kitchen. Inside it are a few thin red threads. They look ordinary, almost weightless. But it is surprising. The price of these few threads sometimes reaches close to gold. These red threads are called saffron. Imagine a spice which takes about 200,000 flowers to make 1 kilogram, which has to be picked by hand very early in the morning, the very morning the flower blooms. Otherwise, everything is spoiled, which was once more valuable than gold. And for the crime of counterfeiting, which people were burned alive in Europe. You may know it as the golden color on the top of biryani, or the special aroma of paisa. But behind these thin red threads lies an incredible history of 3,500 years, where there are ancient emperors, bloody wars, pirates, and death sentences. But why? Why, among the countless spices in the world, has this one become so valuable to kings, emperors, doctors, and merchants for thousands of years? Why have wars been fought over it, and people died for it? And the strangest question, this flower can't actually reproduce itself. So how has it survived for thousands of years? Today's story is about saffron. Let's get started. To understand the story of saffron, you must first understand why it is so rare. Saffron comes from a flower called Crocus sativus. Inside this purple flower, there are only 3 narrow red parts called stigmas. These 3 threads are saffron. Only 3 threads are obtained from each flower. Now do the math. It takes about 1.5 to 2 lakh flowers to make 1 kilogram of dried saffron. Imagine 2 lakh flowers, from each of which 3 threads have to be pulled by hand. And the problem does not end here. This flower blooms for only a few weeks a year, in autumn. Each flower blooms very early in the morning and begins to wither as the daylight increases. So, the workers go down to the field before the morning sun rises. Because when the flower fully opens in the heat of the sun, its quality decreases. This work cannot be done with any machine. It is all the perfect labor of human hands. Then, the more difficult work begins. Sometimes mother and daughter sit together. Sometimes, the whole family spends the whole day separating that thin red thread from thousands of flowers. At the end of the day, only a few grams of saffron are left in front of them. This is why saffron is so expensive. It is not an artificial price. It is actually mathematics, immense labor, limited time, and a small harvest. Behind every thread is the story of a person bending down in the early morning to pick a flower that will fall by noon. Now here is the strangest secret of saffron, which most people don't know. The saffron crocus is a sterile plant. In scientific terms, it is a triploid, meaning its chromosome number is such that it cannot reproduce through seeds. No viable seeds are produced from this flower. So how has it survived for 3,500 years? The answer is by humans. Saffron is propagated only by dividing a root called a karma. Farmers separate small karmas from the base of a plant and plant them in a new place, and new plants grow from there. Each new plant is an exact genetic copy of its parent plant, a clone. Do you know what this means? This means that every saffron crocus in the world today is actually a descendant of that ancient original plant, an unbroken chain of clones passed down from generation to generation, from hand to hand, from person to person. It's like a strange partnership between nature and humans. The future of this flower is almost impossible without humans. And where did this flower come from? Modern research suggests that the saffron crocus came from a mutation of a wildflower. Crocus Cartwrightianus, a wildflower native to Greece and its surrounding islands. About 3,500 years ago, on the Bronze Age island of Crete, people began to cultivate plants with unusually long stigmas from this wildflower. That selection led to the birth of today's saffron. That is, saffron did not grow naturally. It is a flower made by man, sustained by human hands. The most remarkable evidence of the ancient history of saffron is hidden in a wall painting. On the Greek island of Santorini, in an ancient site called Akrotiri, a wall painting was found that is about 3,500 years old, around 1500 BC. This picture shows young girls picking saffron crocus flowers. This is not a symbolic picture, not a mythological story. It is actually a documentary, a real document of a farming operation 3,500 years ago. And the most amazing thing is that the way the girls are picking the stigmas of the flowers by hand in the picture, saffron is still harvested today in the same way. The method has not changed much in 3,500 years. This wall painting was from the Minoan civilization, one of the oldest civilizations in Europe, built around the islands of Crete and Santorini. Saffron was so important to their economy that they considered it worthy of being immortalized in a huge wall painting. Some paintings even show monkeys picking flowers. Perhaps trained monkeys were used to collect them. These paintings prove that saffron was a valuable commodity in long-distance trade, even before the height of Minoan civilization. Ancient people used it not only as a spice, but also as medicine, dye, and religious offerings. Some believed it gave longevity. Others thought it brought good luck. And still others thought the gods had sent this flower to mankind. From the Minoan civilization, the story of saffron now turns east, to ancient Persia, where saffron became a symbol of royal luxury. The vast territory of today's Iran was one of the centers of the most advanced agricultural and herbal knowledge in the world. The people here observed every plant in nature in depth, which plants were medicinal, which were poisonous, and which could make life more beautiful. According to folklore, one autumn morning, a farmer was collecting purple flowers on a mountain slope. The flowers did not seem very valuable, but the 3 red threads in the middle caught his eye. Out of curiosity, he dried them in the sun. After a few days, a strange aroma began to emanate from the dried threads. When he soaked them in water, he saw that the clear water was gradually taking on a golden color. Clothes were dyed with that dye. The color was bright, deep, and long-lasting. The news quickly reached the royal palace. In the 10th century BC, saffron was cultivated on a large scale in Derbina and Isfahan, Persia. Saffron threads have been found woven into ancient royal carpets and shrouds there. The Persians used saffron to add flavor and color to food, to dye royal robes, to make perfume, and even as an offering to the gods. The great Persian Emperor Darius, around 500 BC, ordered the rulers of his provinces to ensure the cultivation of saffron crocus in the far north of the empire, in the Caucasus region. This flower was so valuable. The name saffron also comes from this region. It is believed that the word saffron comes from the Persian zarparan, which means with golden stigma. That golden color became a symbol of wealth and nobility. The Roman Empire also imported saffron from Persia, spreading it at banquets and in baths. How did saffron reach the other side of the world from Persia? The answer lies in one of history's most famous routes, the Silk Road. In the ancient world, there were no modern ships, trains, or airplanes. Yet this network of routes stretched from China through Central Asia, Persia, Arabia, India, and Europe, carrying silk, spices, and gems. And saffron was one of them. Long caravans of camels crossed the hot sands of the desert. The journey became difficult in the intense heat of the day, so they often navigated by starlight in the night sky. Each caravan had skilled guides, soldiers, and merchants, because dangers were everywhere. Desert storms, mountain blizzards, robber attacks, and lack of water. Yet they did not stop their journey, because they carried a product with them whose value was so high that it was profitable to risk the entire expedition. Saffron was not kept in ordinary bags. It was specially preserved to protect it from moisture, light, and excessive heat, because even a small loss could be a big financial loss. Through this trade, saffron reached new civilizations. It was cultivated in Kashmir, India, and even today, Kashmiri saffron is considered one of the best in the world. Farmers in the Mediterranean region also tried to cultivate this precious flower, and later, when it reached Spain, saffron became an important ingredient in local cuisine. But as its popularity grew, so did greed. And that greed gave birth to one of the most dramatic events in history. Europe in the 13th and 14th centuries. The demand for saffron was skyrocketing, and the price was rising every day. But this demand was further exacerbated by a terrible time, the Black Death of the 14th century. People suffering from the plague were desperately seeking saffron as a medicine, while many of the farmers who knew how to grow saffron died in the epidemic. The supply decreased, and the price rose even higher. And this high price gave rise to war and piracy. In the 14th century, a ship loaded with saffron, worth about 420,000 euros in today's terms, was hijacked by a group of noblemen, just for one shipment of saffron. This hijacking began a period of piracy, and eventually a war broke out, what is known in history as the 14 Weeks of Saffron War. Imagine a 14-week war for a single flower thread. As a result of this war, the city of Basel in Switzerland became a safe saffron production center, and later the center of the European saffron trade moved to Nuremberg in Germany. But with such a valuable commodity, another problem arose: adulteration. Unscrupulous traders mixed real saffron with marigold petals, safflower flowers, dyed threads, and even honey or oil to increase its weight. It was almost impossible for ordinary people to distinguish between genuine and fake, and distrust spread in the market. To prevent this adulteration, the Nuremberg authorities introduced a strict law, the Saffron Show Code. Adulterers were fined, sent to prison, and in the Holy Roman Empire, adulteration of saffron was punishable by death. Some adulterers were burned alive, others were buried alive, simply for the crime of selling fake saffron, a flower thread for which people gave and took their lives. Saffron was not just a commodity. It became an integral part of culture, religion, and royal life. A pinch of saffron was used in the kitchens of the royal palaces in the preparation of meals for special guests. That small amount of spice turned ordinary rice into royal polava, ordinary milk into a fragrant drink. Kings believed that serving food made with saffron in front of guests meant showing off one's wealth, taste, and power. The clothes of the royal family were also dyed in the golden yellow color of saffron, which was a symbol of prosperity and status. Saffron also had a special place in religious life. In some regions of India, saffron color was used to draw sacred symbols in religious ceremonies. It has sacred significance in Hindu tradition, and the saffron color of Buddhist monks' robes became a symbol of sacrifice, knowledge, and spirituality. Although in all cases, the color did not come from real saffron. Saffron spread to many other countries. Saffron was once a big industry in England too. An entire town was named after it, Saffron Walden, which thrived on saffron cultivation and still has a saffron flower on its emblem. The ancient Roman naturalist Pliny considered saffron to be a panacea, and in the Indian subcontinent, saffron became an integral part of royal cuisine. Saffron was essential in the cuisine of the Mughal court: biryani, pulao, firni, pies, a tradition that still lives on in our festive meals. People have used saffron for thousands of years, but one question remained unanswered. What is inside this little red thread that makes it so unique? In the 20th century, scientists used advanced chemical analysis to find that the thread contains hundreds of natural compounds. But 3 are the most important. The first is crocin, which is responsible for saffron's bright golden color. This color slowly dissipates when mixed with hot water or milk. The second is picrocrocin, which gives saffron its distinctive slightly bitter flavor. And the third is saffronal. This compound formed during drying creates the sweet, floral aroma that is recognizable from afar. Some studies have shown that saffron's natural compounds may act as antioxidants, and there are indications of potential benefits for mental well-being and eye health. However, scientists are clear that these results are still under investigation, and saffron should not be considered a definitive treatment for any disease. It is not a substitute for medical advice, but as the price of saffron rises, so does the counterfeit trade. From the Middle Ages to the present day, unscrupulous traders have sold fake saffron by mixing red-dyed corn husks, dried marigold petals, or other low-quality ingredients. So experts offer a few easy ways to identify real saffron. One end of the thread of real saffron is wide and the other end is narrow. When placed in hot water, it does not immediately but gradually releases its golden yellow color, and the thread retains its shape for a while. And one should be wary of real saffron at an unusually low price, because real saffron requires a lot of labor to produce. Thousands of years have passed. Empires have risen. Empires have fallen. Kings have changed. Trade routes have shifted. Wars have taken place. Civilizations have disappeared. But a small purple flower still blooms every autumn at just the right time. And in its middle, only 3 red threads still grow. Today, Iran produces about 85 to 90% of the world's saffron. Next are Indian Kashmir, Spain, Greece, and Afghanistan. But as technology advances, the work of harvesting saffron still has to be done by hand. Even today, farmers reach the fields before sunrise in the early morning of autumn, and the whole family, grandfather, grandmother, mother, father, and children, sits together and separates 3 red threads from each flower. It is not just a harvest, but a tradition passed down from generation to generation. But today, saffron faces a new challenge: climate change. In some places, excessive drought. In some places, abnormal rain. In others, excessive temperatures are threatening this 1,000-year-old tradition. Scientists are researching new varieties and environmentally friendly cultivation. The next time you sprinkle a pinch of saffron on your biryani or paisa, stop for a second. Think about what you are actually holding. Each thread represents someone, somewhere, bending down early in the morning to pick a flower that would have fallen by noon. Behind each thread is 3,500 years of human labor condensed into a single red thread. These thin red threads were a flower immortalized in Minoan frescoes, the color of Persian emperors' carpets, the last hope of plague-stricken people in the Middle Ages, something that has been fought for 14 weeks, ships hijacked, and people burned alive for counterfeiting. And this flower cannot reproduce itself. If people hadn't spread this clone from hand to hand, saffron would have disappeared. Saffron is not just a spice. It is a living legacy of human civilization, a small red thread that reminds us the value of some things lies not in their size, but in the history, labor, and time behind them. I'll end here today. If this story of saffron surprised you, then subscribe to the Crumbs of Time channel. We reveal the hidden history of everyday foods every week. Tell us in the comments, which fact about saffron surprised you the most? And like it, so that more people can discover this golden story. Thank you. We'll talk again in another video.